hat mir gestarkt im Wanderweg. Die böse Schwert von Pein und Treue hat nicht vernichtet mein Vermögen, mein Volk, mein Glauben und mein Blühen. Sie hat mein Freiheit nicht geschmied, von unter Schwert hab ich geschrien. Ich bin Aid, der kluger Knecht von Rabbi Kiva, die Chochme von Jeschaias Wort, haben genährt mein Durst, mein Liebe, ohne sie mit Hass und Neugepaart, der Shalom von Makabeier Helden, war Korbes Blut in meinem Sied, von alle Scheiters leg ich melden, ich bin Aid, und auf Zeppiken ist die Sonne, was gereiten quor im Scheun vor mir, weil ich unter die Freiheit wohne, nach oben, nach es von Aschir, weil meine Weingärtner verpflanzen, ohne von mein Geurl sein der Schmied, weil noch ab die Sonne im Skäber tanzen. Ich bin Aid, ich bin Aid, ich bin Aid, ich bin Aid. Es kein Bräut in Stub nicht noch, schlaf mein Kind, mein Steifs. Ich kann noch jetzt dir nicht singen von a Feld, wo's reift. Ich kann noch jetzt dir nicht singen von a Feld, wo's reift. Lulu, Lulu, schlaf. Du wirst wachsen, du musst wachsen, mit ne Wuchs von ne Bäum. Schwöre mir, wird sein dein Haber, Vater, dein Heim. Schwöre mir, wird sein dein Haber, Vater, dein Heim. Wenn's wird werden, wie man sagt uns, gring aber gore, sollst du wissen, als dein Mamen ist gewesen schwer. Sollst du wissen, als dein Mamen gewesen schwer. Spielt der Freiles in der Oder reingeschwind, alle Poles und Fatscheles wie die Seglen auf dem Wind. Fieden, Flöten, Kontrabassen sollen tanzen in die Gassen, sollen Dunern, Trommeten und die Grinsen in die Beeten sollen lustig sein und gut. Fieden, Flöten, nicht geruht, die Geschmack euch ist angespielt, der Freiles Mädlich Jungen, sie soll leben doch voran, heut gesungen ist gesungen, heut getanzt soll sein, getanzt, getanzt. Tanzen Schnitter, tanzen alle, tanzt am Mädel von Wallin, mit der Woche von Poltava, alle Felder seien grün, alle Wälder Kutscherabe, Ragatschowa und Odessa, soll dir rot sich eben größer, wenn es tanzen die Tscherkesser, heit in Teichel sich das Wasser, wenn es tanzen die Walliner, werden alles Sopkes grüner, spielt der Freilos Mädlich Jungen, sie soll leben doch voran, heut gesungen ist gesungen, heut getanzt soll sein, getanzt, getanzt. Fieden, Flöten, Kontrabassen, sollen tanzen in die Gassen, sollen Dunern, Trommeten und die Grinsen in die Beeten sollen lustig sein und gut. Fieden, Flöten, nicht geruht, die Geschmack euch ist angespielt, der Freiles Mädlich Jungen, sie soll leben doch voran, heut gesungen ist gesungen, heut getanzt soll sein, getanzt, getanzt. In Wintervernachten auf russische Felder, wo kennt man sein Ernte, wo kennt man sein Ernte? A Pferdl an Altings, a Skripen der Schlitten, a Schlacher verschneiter, und ich bin inmitten. Von vorn verspreit sich Amida a Weiser, und bei dort se seht is a zendiger Heiser, dort rämmelt a Chuter versunken in Schneien, zum jüdischen Heisel für Stäschkeler gehen. Dort rennt der Chuter versunken in Schnee, zum jüdischen Heisel für Stäschkeler gehen. A Heisel wie alle, nur größer die Fenster, und zwischen die Kinder, dort bin ich der Älteste. Und eng ist mein Weltel, und klein ist mein Rädel, in 2 Wochen einmal von Chuter in Städtel. Und Bänken und Schweigen von Felder, von Breite, und Weg, verschneite, verweite, und Trogen in Herzen, verborgene Wehen, von Und so im was warten und warten auf Sehen. Und tragen in Herzen verborgene Wehen. Von Säumen, was warten und warten auf Sehen. In Winter vernachten auf russische Felder, wo kennen sein Ernte, wo kennen sein Ernte. Wo kennen sein Ernte, wo kennen sein Ernte. Eine Nacht, wenn ihr schreit durch der Bahn zu dem Schweres, na ja, man kann marsch und kauf Ochsen dem Polz. Hat Nachmen genommen, dem Beitel mit Geld, dem Stock in der Hand und gegangen in der Welt. Geht und a Stade der See und Pastecher liegen und singen an ihn. Tra-la-la-la-la, 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 tra-la-la-la-la. Ob Nachmen vergessen im Porzes Rinder, im Porzes Rinder, im Weib und in Kinder. Und tut sehr fragt, ei Choschewelei, was kostet das an ihm bei heintiger Zeit? Sogen die Pastecher, 7 Prialen tut Nachmen Batzon und geht mit Nigen seiner Welt. Tra-la-la-la-la-la, 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 tra-la-la-la-la-la. Geht und a Beide der See und Klezmer dort liegen und singen an ihm. Ai, 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 Hat Nachmen vergessen im Porzes Rinder, in a Porzes Rinder im Weib und in Kinder. Und tut sehr fragt, ei freiliche Leid, was kostet das an Nigen bei heintiger Zeit? Sogen die Klezmerlech, 13 Prialen tut Nachmen Batzon und geht mit Nigen seine Weg. Ai, 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 Geht Mitte vom Markt zurück heim und der Rinder. Kommt jemand gegen's Weib und die Kinder. Was hast du Nachmen gebracht uns vom Weg, wo seinen Mann die Matone sich fragt? Beigt ein, farm Weibel dem Kopf, öffn das Mäul und singt ihr auf. Tra-la-la-la-la-la, 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 tra-la-la-la-la. Nimm das Weib ihr Haar auf sich reißen, mit der Fatschele dem Mann nimmt sie schmeißen. Da kommt der Poretz und stellt sich weg und auf die Ochsen tut ihm afrech. Hebt ruf zum Poretz dem Kopf, öffn das Maul und singt ihm auf. Ai, 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 da der Poretz war voll im Ben zum Slop mit der Ritter im Schen. Steht gebunden, die Beitschaft ihm springt, aber gehäuben seinen Nigen singt. Ai, 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 meine, und wie du säst, geh ich herum, und ich deine, teure meine, herzige meine, und wie du säst, geh ich herum, und ich deine, schoi ja Sofis, schoi ja parendik, schoi ja afgeimal, schoi mer an dich und die Scheinkeiten, Reinkeiten deine, teure meine, herzige meine, öfter wirst kommen, beweisen sich wieder, kommen im Blitz und im Hitz von den Lieder was seinen, mehr deine wie meine, teure meine, herzige meine, o tota selbe, mir alle durch seinen, jede Versorgung geplockt ist mit seinem, einsat vereinigt uns alle, das Deine, teure meine, herzige meine, teure meine, Seien mir rausgefahren auf den nächsten Schlitten, alle machen Tennis, das die Kalle in der Mitte. Oi, oi, singen alle noch, schweigt allein die Kalle, oi, 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 singen alle noch, schweigt allein die Kalle, oi, oi, oi. Seien mir rausgefahren auf den zweiten Schlitten, alle Mechetonnen der Chossen in der Mitte. Oi, oi, singen alle noch, schweigt allein die Kalle, oi, 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 singen alle noch, schweigt allein die Kalle, oi, oi, oi. Seien mir rausgefahren auf den dritten Schlitten, Kalle satt und Chossen satt die Gläsner in der Mitte. Oi, oi, spielen alle, wo sie schweigt allein die Kalle, oi, 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 spielen alle, noch schweigt allein die Kalle, oi, oi, oi. Dinge seien rausgefahren, fliegt vorbei ein Reiter, wo die Kalle aufgeflammt, wie ein Feierscheiter. Oi, oi, schweigen alle, noch singt allein die Kalle, oi, 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 schweigen alle, noch singt allein die Kalle, oi, oi, oi. Schlitterlach, ihr merkt zurück schön vorn, oi Chossen leb, als weißt du deine Jorn, oi, 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 kinale, zet a Chossen on a Kalle, oi, 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 kinale, zet a Chossen on a Kalle, oi, oi, oi. Von dem Vogelsfliegel ob mir auf Berg gestiegen und der Stiegen und der Land Gijon mit voller Hand als me Kuyen sollen werden alle unsere Begehren als me Kuyen sollen werden alle unsere Begehren. Tiefer von die Jamen Grunden ob mir gelos sich munter und der Stiegen und der Land Gijon mit voller Hand soll beim Volk sein, voll die Qual und soll gar nicht gehen verfallen. Soll beim Volk sein, voll die Qual und soll gar nicht gehen verfallen. Noch ist uns gegeben, sich zu freien mit dem Leben, bis dem Abgrund, bis dem Rand, Gijon mit breiter Hand, als Mekuyen sollen werden, alle letzten Begehren, als zum Guten dies Mekane soll die Zukunft unserer Mannen. Ihr gedenkt nicht, was später, was früher, auf a Chwale in a Cholem verschwindig, no die Macht wie bei Nacht in der Kindheit, in der Kindheit. Wenn sie hat nicht gewusst, sie schloss, wenn sie atem und a Rob von dem Bett und a Lob, von Schreck, nicht gewusst, wo a Trotten, Auf der Qual ihr blassliche Hand, mit a zarten Mienen, ich hob sie dem Nigen der Mond, was mit ihm, sie verwiegt ho die Kinder, winden sich ohne nach Schier und befallen das Lied, das beginnt. Nur die Macht, sie steht neben mir wie amol, wie bei Nacht in der Kindheit, in der jüdischen Wort, wie es ist wild, wie es ist mild, wie es ist teuer, ist voran als Ruf zu Banayung, ist voran als herrlicher Feier, als Winden, was ziehen a weltische breite Baroten, nicht können verblosen sein glühend Noten und Aschen von Kufes nicht können sein Zunter vergräuen, sein muntern Zunter, was hält sich in Stillkeit von Bläuen. Jüdischen Wort, wo sie's Ackerstarois von die Zwangen, ist voran schon die Ruhe von die Steppes und die sichere Breitkeit von Eppes und nicht nur bei Schumrem im Wort, bei die Poschete Hüte.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. I think this is what we refer to as the frozen chosen. Those of you who actually came in person, like, well done. I know that you are coming through the tundra to get here. We deeply appreciate it. For those of you who are at home and watching on the live stream, have some hot chocolate for us too. We begin on page 42 and welcome our angels of peace. Welcome, Shabbat Shalom. Feel the warmth, both of the heat and of the community. Let it sink into your bones, especially if you just came in and you're still kind of holding on to that chill. Let it leave. Let the chill of the week depart. Let the neshama yetera, the extra soul that comes to dwell with us on Shabbat, sink into you and warm you. If this is your first time at CBST, or if it's your first time here in a very long time, we would love to know who you are and welcome you properly. So I'm going to look around and invite you, if it's your first time here or if it's your first time in a long time, to stand up and just say your name and where you're with us from today. And lots of faces I know over here, but... And now from Tel Aviv to Brooklyn. Welcome, Jonathan. Thank you. Hi. So glad you're here, Jody. Yeah. So glad that you're here. Shabbat Shalom. Anyone else? First time or first time in a long time? David from New York. Glad you're here. Welcome. And
Sarah from Baltimore.
Sarah from Baltimore. Shabbat Shalom.
And Sarah from Virginia.
Oh, I love that it's the Sarah section. Well done. Okay. Wonderful. Up here, down. Oh, look at all these new faces. Huh. Who might you be? Welcome to Elka Temple Road of Shalom Falls Church, Virginia, confirmation class and accompaniment. And yes, Cantor, Sydney, Michael Lee, we're so happy that you're here. I'm actually going to ask you if you just all just say your first names. Just go right down the.
I'm Jonah. I'm Lucas. I'm Gavin.
I'm Danny. I'm Sarah. I'm Amida. Sorry. I'm Rebecca. Amida. I'm Cass. I'm also Amida. Micah. Anna. Tess. Jordan.
Errol. Isaac. Jacob. Owen. Micah.
So glad that you're all here. And it's okay if Sarah is not in the Sarah section. You can have another Sarah section. It's fine. Well, welcome. Welcome, everyone. We're so glad that all of you are here tonight. Actually, I'm going to invite Cantor, Michael Lee, and Hannah, and maybe pick any two of you who feel brave. I'm going to invite you to come and light candles tonight, which I did not warn you about, but I figure you probably know your way around matches. Candle blessings are on page 38.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu
And I invite you to please rise if you are able as we welcome in the angels of Shabbat, page 40.
Oh,
Shabbat Shalom. I love right, there's that moment of schmoozing. It's like the little taste of the later schmoozing that comes with the snacks. But the early schmooze leads to the late schmooze. It's good. So in addition to your program, you should have a separate little individual piece of paper that has a prayer for the redemption of Israelis taken captive. We have been praying for the last 105 days for no more deaths, for some kind of peaceful resolution, and certainly for the rest of the captives to come home. Please read with me. Our God, the one who raised Joseph up from the pit, be a refuge for the oppressed, a refuge in times of trouble. Send complete rescue and full redemption to those held captive by the enemy. Strengthen their spirit and bring them our prayers that they may be protected from all harm. Implant understanding in the heart of the enemy that they may return the captives in wholeness of body and spirit. Grant wisdom to the Israel Defense Forces that they may secure freedom for the captives without loss of life. Grant strength of spirit and courage of heart to all the sons and daughters of Abraham, Sarah, and Hagar to release bonds of captivity and allow us all to live in freedom. They shall call upon me, and I will answer them. I will be with them in distress. I will rescue them and honor them. And we say, Amen. We continue into the Psalms that welcome in Shabbat with Lechuna Ranana on page 52. And I encourage you in your program to notice that we're one of the unusual synagogues that has the entire list of prayers in the service. So if I don't say the name of the page number, it's going to be right here, but you're also going to see who composed the setting that we are singing to. Page 54. Page 62.
Please rise.
And please rise.
Adonai b'nei Adonai kivod shemo yishtachavu l'Adonai behadrat kodesh kol Adonai al hamayim el hakavod yirim Adonai hamayim Adonai midbar Kaddish kol Adonai cholel ayalot vayachesov be'arot uve'echalot ulo merkavot ay Adonai lama buyasha vayeshev Adonai melech le'olam Adonai oz le'amo yitein Adonai yivarech et amo
You may be seated. We turn to page 66, Lecha Dodi, and one of my favorite verses. So many of you have heard me lead services before. I tend to preface a lot of things by saying one of my favorite things. One of my favorite things is Judaism, if you haven't noticed. So I should just give the disclaimer that I know I've said it before. It's another one of my favorites. But one of my favorite moments in the Shabbat liturgy is actually in the Lecha Dodi. The third verse, Mikdash Melech Ir Melucha Kumitzei mitoch hahafecha, the holy dwelling of the sovereign, the crowned city, arise, emerge from the destruction. Rav lach shevet be'emek habecha, v'hu yachamol alayich chemla. Too long have you lived in the valley of despair. It actually literally says in the valley of tears. God will show you great compassion. I feel like there are some weeks that I dwell a little more in the valley of tears than others. And having this in the middle of what is otherwise this very joyous celebration, right? We're welcoming in like personified Shabbat. I like to think about what is that personified Shabbat? What does she look like walking in the door? And knowing that especially at the end of a week that maybe has been a harder week, that has certainly been a colder week, that has been a week with maybe an avalanche of terrible news, knowing that in that emek habacha, in that valley of tears, there is still somehow that personified Shabbat, that personified compassion coming to dwell with us. So in whatever form you need that personified Shabbat, we're going to welcome it in. Page 66.
La 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 lecha dodi. La 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 likrat kala. La 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 pnei Shabbat. Pnei Shabbat,
I think that extra soul feels pretty welcomed right now. So we turn to page 72 with the psalm that begins with the words, Tov lehodot l'Adonai. We've got it right here behind me. For those of you who are new here, for those of you for whom it's your first time, notice on the way out that when you hold the door handles on the way into the sanctuary or into our building, that these words are also embedded in the handles. So when you pull that handle open, for a moment you have this phrase, just for a moment, sort of embedded in your hand. It is good to give thanks to the divine. Tov lehodot l'Adonai. We don't always remember in every moment to feel grateful, but just think about that moment of it being imprinted on you when you don't expect it. There's other moments when gratitude is imprinted on you and you don't expect it. So for the moment, the words are right there. The words are also here, but let the words also be here.
Mizmor shir leyom haShabbat. Hodot l'Adonai. Tov lehodot l'Adonai. Ulezame
Please read with me on the bottom of page 75. Praise me, says God, and I will know that you love me. Condemn me, says God, and I will know that you love me. Praise or condemn me, and I will know that you love me. Sing out my graces, says God. Raise your fist against me and be angry, says God. Sing out graces or express anger. Anger is also a kind of praise, says God. But you sit fenced off in your apathy, says God. If you sit entrenched in I don't give a damn, says God. If you look at the stars and yawn, if you see suffering and don't cry out, if you don't praise and you don't condemn, then I created you in vain, says God. Please rise if we are able, and we continue with the Baruch Hu on page 78.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam ad.
May be seated. Continue on the next page. Page 80.
Ma'avir yom u'mevi layla, u'mavdil ben yom u'ben layla, Adonai tzvaot shemo, El Chai v'Kayam, Tamid yimloch aleinu le'olam ad. Baruch atah Adonai, Amari v'Aravi.
Page 86, Ahavat Olam.
Ahavat olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha ahavta, Amcha ahavta. Torah וקשרתם לאות הידך, והיו לטוטפות בעיניך, וכתבתם המזוזות ביתך ובשעריך.
We continue individually with the texts on the following pages.
Adonai Elohechem, Amen.
Page 94, the Song of Our Liberation. And it's funny because I'll talk about this in my drash, we are really right in the middle of the Torah readings that teach about the plagues. So we're so close to this. So next Shabbat morning, we'll actually be chanting the Song of the Sea in the Torah. We get to that moment. So it's fun because I've been reading this week's Torah portion where we're still on like the 6th plague. But here we are, we're also right at the edge of the sea. So page 94.
Adonai et Yaakov, ugalo miyad chazak mimenu. Baruch ata Adonai, Baal Yisrael.
We are so lucky this evening, not only to have the entire confirmation class from Falls Church, Virginia, and Temple Road of Sholem, but Cantor Michael Lee is also a colleague, a student of Joyce's, and we are so thrilled to have you here and to be joining us. Look at you with your tablet. I'm so impressed. I'm still quite low-tech, so I'm very impressed by the high-tech. So for Hashkivenu, our beautiful prayer for protection on page 98, we have this lovely duet.
Peace and friendship be
First of all, I just want to say the words are in the program. So when we come back to this phrase, I would love to hear everybody singing it. It's in English. I promise you, it's a language you know. Let there be love. Let there be understanding. Let us look at each other with love. Let us look at each other and assume love. This is this Hashkivenu prayer. It's the prayer that God, Talit, is sort of hanging over all of us. For those of us who take the subway daily, we know we are so dependent on so many other people whose names we will never even know. Let's approach each other with grace. Let's approach each other with love.
Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, Baruch atah Adonai. Haporei sukat shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al kol ha'amim, ve'al Yerushalayim.
Please rise if you are able. We turn to page 102 for Vishamru.
Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, na'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam b'ri Torah. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, na'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam b'ri Olam. Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael ve'oti le'olam, oti le'olam. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, na'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam b'rit olam. Ki sheishet yamim asa Adonai, asa Adonai et ha-shamayim ve'et ha'aretz. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, na'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam b'rit olam.
Uvayom hashvi'i Shabbat vaynafash, Shabbat vaynafash, Shabbat vaynafash.
Vishamru b'nei
such a treat. So following the Chatzi Kaddish, we will recite the Amida individually and silently. It's a lovely time to either use the words that are in the book or to use the words that are in your heart whenever you need to have a conversation with God about the world or with yourself about God or any kind of conversation you need to have. The traditional text begins on page 106, immediately following the Kaddish, and there are alternative poetic readings beginning on page 124. So 104, Chatzi Kaddish.
Yitkada veyitkada shemei Rabbah. Ve'alma divra kirutei ve'amlich malchutei. B'chayechon uvyom echon uv'hayei dechol beit Yisrael. Bagala uvizman kariv veimeru Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach ve'ala mulal ne'almaya Yitbarach ve'yishtabach Vitpa'ar vitramam ve'yitnasei ve'yitadar ve'yitalev ve'yitalal shemei dekudsha v'chule elam min kol birchata ve'shirata Shvechata ve'nechemata damiran ve'alma ve'imeru
If you're still davening, keep davening. Page 4 of your program, Achenu. Achenu kol Beit Yisrael, our loved ones, the whole house of Israel, who are in distress and captivity. Bring them from distress to comfort, from slavery to redemption, swiftly and soon. This prayer is about 1,000 years old. Don't actually know how old it was before it was first written down around the 11th century. And unfortunately, in every generation it continues to be relevant. Abby Rotenberg set this to music about 30 years ago, maybe. And it is bringing comfort to Jewish communities around the world right now. So when we sing this, I hope we can really feel, it's hard to feel sometimes, right? We all have very individual experiences of the world, but what is that way in which we are really achenu, in which we really are siblings, connected, responsible for each other? Page 4 of your program. We continue with a prayer for healing on page 130. Mishaberach imotenu Sarah Rivka Leah Rachel Bilcha v'Zilpa v'Avotenu Avraham Yitzchak v'Yaakov hu yivarech v'yirapeh et hacholim. May the one who blessed all of our ancestors, Sarah, Rivka, Leah, Rachel, Bilcha, and Zilpa, Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, bless and heal all those who are ill. We pray for healing today, for Jonathan Adler, for Linda Alger, Julie Berg, Lisa Brown, Julia Collins, Derek Garrison Bedell, Gerald Goldhaber, Allison Goodnow, Regina Haskell, Jen Johnson, Doris Kleinman, Joseph Pasquino, Randy Sarakoff, Kat Scarry, Linda Solomon, Krista Sturgeon, Elliot Strick, Beverly Walker, Batya bat Shmuel Vachaya, David ben Shmuel Vachaya, Rivka bat Tzvi Batya, Ronen ben Tzvi Batya, Zahava bat Esther Chana v'Yitzchak. And please say out loud any names of people for whom you're praying for healing tonight as well. May they be blessed with a full and complete healing of spirit and a healing of body, together with all those who are ill among the Jewish people and around the world. May those who will not be healed on this earth be blessed with nights free from suffering and days filled with peace. May God grant strength and comfort to those who care for the sick. May God help us to find hope and courage as we face fear and loss. May all who are ill be surrounded by the love of friends, loving companions, families, and community, and let us say, Amen. The prayer for our country is on that same piece of separate paper in your program on the other side. And please read with me at the second half of this prayer. Source of all life, guide our leaders with righteousness. Strengthen their hearts, but keep them from hardening, that they may use their influence and authority to speak truth and act for justice. May all who dwell in this country share in its bounty, enjoy its freedoms, and be protected by its laws. May this nation use its power and wealth to be a voice for justice, peace, and equality for all who dwell on earth. May we be strong and have courage, to be bold in our action and deep in our compassion, to discern when we must listen and when we must act, to uproot bigotry, intolerance, misogyny, racism, discrimination, and violence in all its forms, to celebrate the many faces of God reflected in the wondrous diversity of humanity, to welcome the stranger and the immigrant, and to honor the gifts of those who seek refuge and possibility here, as they have since before this nation was born. Let justice well up like waters, and righteousness like a mighty stream. And let us say, Amen. Kaddish Shalem, the full Kaddish, is on page 138.
Yitkadal ve'yitkadash shemei Rabbah. Ve'almadi v'rakirutei ve'amlich malchutei b'chayechonu v'yomechonu v'chayedechol beit Yisrael. Bagala v'zman kariv ve'imeru. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevarach ve'alam ulal me'almaya. Rach v'ishtabach v'itpa'ar v'itramam v'yitnaseh v'itadar v'itale v'itala shemei l'kudsha. Richu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nachamata damiran be'alma v'immeru. Titkabel tzuloton uvauton d'chol Yisrael kadam avuhon divishmaya v'immeru. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim alenu v'al kol Yisrael v'immeru. Say shalom bimramav, uyase shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imeru. Amen.
It is such a joy leading with you. This is a wonderful crew, right?
Truly.
So this is the funny moment where I would like to invite up myself to give some words of Torah. It's always a funny transition when that happens, you know. So as I said before, we are in this series of Torah portions with the plagues. And every year I'm sort of struck by how the way the Jewish calendar works, we're always reading the story of the Exodus in this cycle in the middle of the winter, sort of as a preview for what's to come in 3 months when we get to Passover. So between last Shabbat and this Shabbat, we kind of divide the plagues between those two readings. And Moses and Erin are going back and forth trying to convince Pharaoh to let the Israelites leave. So it may be snowy and freezing outside, not as snowy as I would like, but But reading this part of the story, there's a way in which it always makes me think of early spring, and I feel like I channel the Seder plate with the hard-boiled egg and the fresh greens and the charoset and the horseradish. I'm worrying about if the horseradish is really growing under all that frozen dirt. It better be. So these 2 weeks of plagues also feature what feel like some of the most troubling moments in the story. Last week, God says to Moses, "I will harden Pharaoh's heart, that I may multiply my signs and marvels in the land of Egypt. But Pharaoh will not listen to you." Throughout the 10 plagues, Pharaoh has changes of heart again and again, and we're left hanging at the end in this week's reading with Pharaoh's heart still unsoftened. So there are generations of debates about why God hardens Pharaoh's heart, whether Pharaoh has any free will or not, and why there need to be 10 plagues, each worse than the last, before the Israelites are able to leave to freedom. But I'd like to focus tonight on some of the very specific language of what is happening in Pharaoh's heart. So when we tell the story in English, right, we usually say Pharaoh's heart was hardened. In the Hebrew text, there are multiple different words that are used. So in the moment just before Moses and Erin go to Pharaoh for the first time, God literally says, "Ani aksheh et lev paro," kasheh, aksheh. So I will harden, there's harden, the heart of Pharaoh. But then in other moments, the text says, "V'yechazek lev paro," chazek, to strengthen. In the next verse, God tells Moses, "Kaved lev paro," kaved, Pharaoh's heart is heavy. In no instance does Pharaoh's heart actually ever become kasheh, hard, the way that God originally said. Instead, Pharaoh's heart is consistently referred to as either being chazak or kaved. So chazak can be strong, can be solid, can be firm, can be determined. Kaved can mean heavy, dignified, honored. These are not words one generally associates with Pharaoh, the enslaver of the Israelites and the tyrant of Mitzrayim. So Pharaoh's heart is sometimes strong, sometimes maybe stubborn, sometimes heavy, but it's never kasheh, it's never hard. So why did God tell Moses and Erin that Pharaoh's heart would be made kasheh? I think part of this is the tension between Pharaoh and Moses, and that being more present than it might seem. If the way we read the text, right, Pharaoh is probably Moses' adoptive grandfather, right, the way that the previous Pharaoh's daughter had taken in Moses from the, right, figuring out the family tree. So in Pharaoh's eyes, Moses might still be just that troublesome, possibly slave kid that his, daughter brought to the palace, who ran away, who's now returning to reject the family, right? There's all these dynamics that we don't actually know about. This is where Midrash comes in. So how is Moses supposed to prepare himself for this interaction? So perhaps God is trying to make it easier for Moses to say, "I am going to harden Pharaoh's heart." Right? Maybe later Moses can find a good therapist and talk about what was really going on in Pharaoh's heart and what that means. But maybe knowing God saying, no, it's going to be hardened and you're going to have to go in and be determined. Maybe that somehow makes that easier for him. Moses' own heart is probably also heavy, maybe feeling a bit stubborn, maybe sometimes feeling strong during the course of all these plagues. But as we see, sometimes we need a little bit of opposition to be the catalyst, to feel like we can gather the strength to do something. So perhaps this made it easier for Moses to walk in and demand the freedom for the Israelites. But I also think this language indicates that Pharaoh does, in fact, have a choice, and that he chooses badly. If God had actually made Pharaoh's heart hard, kasheh, then it would have been clear this is entirely God's doing. God made this decision, Pharaoh had no choice in the matter. But instead, God actually makes Pharaoh's heart kaved, weighty, dignified, and chazak, strong, determined. Pharaoh, it seems like, might have had a choice to weigh carefully something that was heavy, to make a determined choice about whether the Israelites really did deserve the same freedoms and the same chance to thrive as their Egyptian neighbors. But Pharaoh didn't. We have been living now for years through a series of plagues that have caused so much fear and so much grief. We speak frequently about CBST as an ark where we can take refuge from the flood, just to jump back to a totally different parsha. But we also need to be able to find refuge in our own souls. So how does this language say anything about that? It is fascinating to me that God makes Pharaoh's heart specifically kaved and chazak, because these are also words that we regularly in Jewish communities say to each other to strengthen each other. At the end of every book of the Torah, we say, chazak, chazak, v'nit chazek, be strong, we shall be strengthened. I quote this all the time. Pharaoh's heart is chazek. We say, kol hakavod, all the kavod, all the honor to somebody who's accomplished something really incredible. We use these words to be supportive of each other, to give strength to each other. So it's unsettling to hear these same words used to describe Pharaoh's heart in the moment when he denies the Israelites the chance to leave slavery, harming all of the Egyptians in the process as well. Plagues, discomfort, grief, joy, right? We're always experiencing all these things to different degrees in different ways. And sometimes when there's this relentless flood of what are the terrible things happening in the world, it might feel like, oh no, I just want to harden my heart. I just want to build a wall around my heart and not have to feel the things that are going on. Like it's too much, and like you should turn your phones off before bed. Like give yourself that gift, right? But also we want to know what's going on in the world, but also it's overwhelming. So when do we feel like, oh no, I just need to turn off my ability to care about things? I can't quite. Like that's kind of a hardening of the heart. That I truly believe that God does not actually make anyone's heart really kasheh. Right? God doesn't make Pharaoh's heart hard. I don't think God makes our hearts hard ever. There's that impulse to like, no, shut it off. But it doesn't harden us. Instead, we have this kaved and this chazik, and we can decide what to do with that kaved and that chazik, whether we use that strength to see the dignity of all people, to weigh our choices carefully, regardless of about what we believe about the existence of a God who makes decisions and impacts us in this way. Right? Our hearts react to what goes on around us, and we can choose which direction to go. And we know sometimes seeing a piece of terrible news sometimes can actually give you that oppositional energy, like, well, I have to change it, I have to fix it, right? It can give you the energy to do something and to jump into trying to repair the world. And sometimes the same piece of terrible news can just make us feel alone and powerless or full of pointless rage. Rabbi Mordechai Kaplan, who created Reconstructionist Judaism, described it like this: the God impulse in us, or, the best of what's in us, is not fear but hope, not hopelessness but self-help, not despondency but courage, not obfuscation of the mind but the light of reason, not belittlement of what humanity is, but the exaltation of what humanity might be. So what keeps your soul together when the circumstances in the world feel like calculated to make you feel disconnected or despondent, like your heart is being made kasheh? Hopefully it can help to remember that our hearts are never really hard, that we always have this choice to lean into what is the kaved and what do these other words give us, the gifts that we can take from them. Where are our hearts soft, open, unburdened, holding honor, holding firm, strengthening others, honoring dignity, all the ways of understanding kaved and chazik that are the opposite of what Pharaoh chooses. The last verse of Psalm 27 says, Kaveh el Adonai, chazak v'ya'ametz libecha v'kaveh el Adonai. Have hope in the divine, let your heart be strong and full of courage, and have hope in the divine. Chazak v'ya'ametz libchem. May all of your hearts be strong and full of courage, no matter what comes. Shabbat Shalom. and I invite you to please rise if you're able for the Aleinu on page 140.
Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon ha'kol la'atet gedula le'otzer greshut shebara otanu b'tzalmo v'nafach banu et nishmat chayenu שהעמיק אותנו בלימוד תורתו וקידשנו במצוותיך ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא שעונותי שמיים ועושה הארץ ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל ושכינתו זו בכל אלוהים הוא אלוהינו אין עוד אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו כך כתוב בתורתו וידעת היום להשיבותה אל לבביך כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד אמר היה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ היום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד
You may be seated. The bottom of page 149, please read with me the poem by Muriel Rukeyser. When I am dead, even then, I will still love you. I will wait in these poems. When I am dead, even then, I am still listening to you. I will still be making poems for you out of silence. Silence will be falling into that silence. It is building music. Page 150, Mourner's Kaddish. This week we are remembering the yortzites of CBST members Joel Elfenbein, Philip Rosenfeld, Peggy Traub, Rosemary Getroyer, and Barbara Monis. Family and friends, Donald Bloom, Ruth Goldberg, Alvin Sherman, Annette Pearl Castle, Thea Spire, Ronnie Kornfeld, Larry Schechner, Martin Hoffman, Jean Jefferson, Nathan Cohen, Gladys Fisher, Ethel Gerson, Eric Reich, George Levine, Seymour Passman, Martin Dolgen, Jack Feinberg, Mary Wenig, Philip Reichbach, Rose Levy, Stuart Marcus, and Richard Miggins. And we extend our condolences to CBST member Stephen Friesman on the death of his sister Jill Friesman, Zichrona Livracha, who died on January 13th. If you are in mourning, if you are in the first year of a loss, if it is a yahrzeit, if you are remembering somebody particularly today, I invite you to rise, page 150. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'yalma divrach lirutei, v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon uvyamechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru, amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mavorach leolam olamei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei dekudasha brechu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechamata da'amiran bi'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom b'imramav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru, amen. May their memories be blessings, and may that blessing be the blessing we need. You may be seated. Oh, I think I'm inviting up our president. Sabrina, do you want to give some announcements? Fantastic. We're going to invite up our president, Sabrina Farber, for some announcements.
Why, thank you, Rabbi. Shabbat Shalom. Welcome to CBST. Thank you to our service leader and Darshanit, Rabbi Marisa James. Always a pleasure to see you on the Bima. Thanks to our music director, Joyce Rosenzweig, and to our Ba'alet Tefillah, Cantorial student, Erin B. Erin. Thanks to our online and in-person greeters, Sharon and Gomez, and thanks to Jason Zivic on tech, and to Jorge and the whole facility staff. And I would be remiss if I didn't give a special shout out and a welcome to our confirmation class from Falls Church, Virginia, and to the amazing Cantor Michael Lee, who was convinced by Joyce to come and work, because Joyce has this amazing power over all of her former students. Whenever they come to CBST, she puts them to work, which is marvelous for us because we then get to hear the product of all those years of study. So thank you. Please join us tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. in person or on Zoom for Shabbat services. We'll be led again by Rabbi Marisa James and member Larry Kay with the Devar Torah from member David Feinberg. And join us online at 7:30 for Havdalah. This Sunday, if you are in your 20s and 30s, please join our Aleinu group for a Zoom Sunday study session from 11 to 12:15 with Jess and Cooperberg Rootmaster Rabbinical Intern Adam Grabart. For more details, please email aleinu@cbst.org. I'm excited to tell you about 2 recitals on the next 2 Monday evenings. For those of you who love Joyce and who love listening to Joyce play, I have these 2 special additional opportunities to hear her. So for the next 2 Monday evenings, January 22nd and 29th at 7 p.m., she'll be playing for 2 senior recitals at JTS. So this is the Jewish Theological Seminary. This is their seniors who are graduating, and they come and they give a big concert. Joyce will be accompanying them. The concerts will feature a wide range of Jewish music in Hebrew, Ladino, Yiddish, and Chazanut and Israeli traditional, and pop songs. You can register online, and this is for those of you who want an extra dose of good Jewish music, marvelous Jewish music, and Joyce Rosenzweig. So join us on Zoom. The link is online in the e-news on Thursday, January 25th for our Tu B'Shvat Seder at 5 p.m. We'll be celebrating the Jewish New Year for the trees. And in a time when climate change is really wreaking havoc and destroying our planet, our tradition gives us this opportunity to come together and bring our awareness to these beautiful creations that we depend on in so many ways. And I know that some of you are interested in our next version of what's on the schedule for Lair House for our spring semester. So launching this week, or actually last week, was Intro to Mishnah with Rabbi Moskowitz. It just came back. This class, which meets Monday through Thursday, 9:15 to 10 a.m., starting January 16th, going through April 4th, is a terrific opportunity to engage in Jewish text study, regardless of your level of knowledge, and with a welcoming and dedicated community of learners. They're going to be studying Maimonides' laws of giving charity through the lens of social justice, which sounds absolutely perfectly tailor-made to CBST. Please register online or via the e-news link. And as I said, more Lair House class offerings will be coming very soon in our spring term, so watch the space, read your e-news, and listen to the announcements from the Bima. And one reminder, please don't forget about the wonderful project that members Lisa Kartzman and Janet Pavlov are assembling. This is a multimedia project honoring CBST's long and deep relationship with Rabbi Kleinbaum, featuring member input, everything from videos to music to poems to writings to songs, tributes. The deadline is February 28th, so you don't want to miss out on this opportunity. A reminder email will go out to all members this week, and if you have any questions, please email rsktributes@cbst.org. I hope you will join me in donating to CBST, in joining CBST in whatever way works for you, and come, please be a part of our extraordinary community. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you, Sabrina. We're going to flip back to page 36. Don't worry, we're not starting the whole service over. But we need a little bit of Yiddish, a little bit of Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbos, 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 soll sein Shabbos, Shabbos soll sein, Shabbos soll sein, Shabbos auf der ganzen Welt, Shabbos soll sein, Shabbos soll sein, Shabbos auf der ganzen Welt. Sholem, 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 soll sein Sholem, Sholem soll sein, Sholem soll sein, Sholem auf der ganzen Welt, Sholem soll sein, Sholem soll sein, Sholem auf der ganzen Welt.
Kiddush and Motzi are on page 156. I invite you to, well, I'm not going to invite you to rise quite yet because I'm going to tell you about the sponsorships because we've got some lovely sponsorships. Our live stream is sponsored tonight by the CBST board, clergy, and staff to welcome Cantor Sydney, Michael Lee, and the entire confirmation class and cohort of Temple Road of Sholem and Falls Church, Virginia. The fact that you got to us through the snow, we're just so happy. Thank you. By Barbara Dolgen and Hannah Gaffney in loving memory of their sister-in-law, Deborah Dolgen, Zichrona Livracha, on her 17th yahrzeit. Also by Barbara Dolgen and Hannah Gaffney in loving memory of Barbara's father, Martin Dolgen, Zichrona Livracha, on his 18th yahrzeit. By Rabbi Kim Geringer in memory of her mother, Edda Geringer, Zichrona Livracha, on her 12th yahrzeit. A lifelong Zionist, civil rights activist, and proud Democrat, she put Judaism into my soul. By Bonnie Siegel and Linda Solomon to welcome back Rabbi Werber and Rabbi Moskowitz from Israel, looking forward to them sharing their experiences with the congregation. And tonight's Oneg sponsored by Amit Peli and Jonathan Neymark in memory of Amit's beloved mother Ziva Reuveni Peli, Zichrona Livracha. And by Rabbi Marisa James and Barbara Schmutzler in memory of our beloved friend Cecil Gray Bazalon, Zichrona Livracha, on her first yahrzeit. We'll be making art and eating ice cream to bless her memory. So I invite you all to rise. Now you can rise. And page 156, Kiddush and Motzi. And I should give you some wine, shouldn't I? Somebody drowned in that one. We're not using that one. No, you too.
Hold it with me.
No, hold it with you.
Yeah.
Okay, we're good.
ויחולו השמיים והארץ וכל צבאם, ויחל אלוהים ביום השביעי מלאכתו אשר עשה, וישבות ביום השביעי מכל מלאכתו אשר עשה, ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי ויקדש אותו, כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות. סברי חבריי וחברותיי, ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, הבורא פרי הגפן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר קידשנו במצוותיו ורצה בנו, בשבת קודשו באהבה וברצון הנחיל לנו, זיכרון למעשה בראשית, כי הוא יום תהילה למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. כי בנו בחרת לאותנו קידשת מכל העמים, בשבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. אמן. לחיים.
And in CBST tradition, we're going to grab the challah and invite everybody to be connected with each other and whatever way with consent. Yay, balcony folks, great.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, המוציא לחם מן הארץ. אמן. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Amazing.